So remember the last time where we picked search, this time you're picking video. So you're clicking video, you're then saying, what's the subtype of the campaign? So here it says video views. So get views and engagement from people who are more likely to consider your product or brand. You only pay when someone chooses to watch your ad. Your ads can be shown as skippable in stream, in feed, and short ads. So basically, these are the options. I'm going to show you what all these options are shortly, so it gives you an idea. Okay. So once you've done that, you select continue. So now when it comes to YouTube ads, there's the ABCDs of YouTube ads. So this is the best practice principles that Google themselves created for you to optimize your YouTube ads. So first of all, A, get the attention. B, make sure you've got the branding. C, the connection. And D, the direction. So with the attention, the aim is, as you can see here, we're looking at the bottom. The aim is with A to hook the viewer. So I'll grab their attention. Why should they, not why should they be watching, but something that makes them want to watch the video. B, branding, brand early, often and richly. So basically what Google is saying is get your branding out there straight away so they remember that you're brand. Because do you remember what we said about touch points? So if the more they see it, they'll say, oh yeah, so you'll become recognizable. C, connection, help people think or feel something. So you need to be almost have to think of the surround process. You're building that relationship. What can you do to connect and build that relationship? And then once you've got that connection, then direct them. Give them direction to ask them to take an action. So, are they filling out the sign up form? Are they going to your website? Are they making a phone call? What are they doing at this stage? So, these are the ABCDs of YouTube ads, and this is from Google themselves. So in terms of YouTube ad types, the cost of the ad and the method of charging is based on the subtype. So the one that we just, so create your video ads and then you can see the target cost per view. So basically similar to what we've talked about in terms of the search ads, but this time it's slightly different. So you're talking about how many people you've reached and how many people have viewed your video, for example. So this is so in this example, I selected video views. That's why it's asking me to charge me per cost per view. Had I selected something else, then it would have been something slightly different. So in terms of YouTube, potential costs, so the cost of YouTube advertising, starting at the top right there, $4 to $10 per CPM. Uh, CPM stands for cost per milli. I've never actually used that phrase, or but anyway, but people just it's the industry term is CPM. Basically means per every thousand. So what is the cost per thousand people that are reached? Average daily budgets, how much you want to spend a day. On average, to reach 100,000 views. So if you want 100,000 views, Google are giving you an idea of what it's going to cost. And then cost per view or impression. So an impression is when it's seen, and the view is when it's watched. And this is a really nice one created by Local IQ. So in terms of more on ad types, you can see many of the options are a lot similar to the Google ads. Like you talked about devices, the ad group name, demographics, keywords. So once again, very similar to what we've seen on Google ads. Remember, even though your ad is on YouTube, your ad is on YouTube, it can be unlisted. What I mean by this is any advert you post on YouTube is a video within YouTube. So YouTube is taking your video and showing it as an ad, but that doesn't mean it has to be on public show. So you just select the option to unlist it, if that makes sense. So just to summarize, if I've confused you, when you're creating ads for YouTube, it's a video, of course, isn't it? So you're usually when you see an ad on YouTube, it's a video. That video is actually on YouTube as a video, but it doesn't mean that people have access to it. So if you put it down as unlisted, people can't see it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Once you've uploaded it to YouTube and enter the details, the campaign can be created. So obviously your video needs to be uploaded to YouTube. So you can't create a YouTube advert without the video already being on YouTube. And obviously you can fill in your details, and obviously then based on that you can create your campaign. Once you've done that, you get to the point where your campaign is ready, and then you just create campaign. Just to take a backward step, but just to give you an idea of the different types of YouTube ads. So these ones are, I suppose, that we're all familiar with, and I know sometimes they do make changes to these. So this first one, the top left-hand corner, you get those before, during, and after. Keep them to a maximum of 3 minutes, but you can skip after 5 seconds. What I'd do is I'd just be very careful with where you place YouTube ads, because you so we've all been there where we go into YouTube, we're looking forward to watching a video, and then an advert turns up. Usually we're just annoyed with the advert because we just want to get onto our video. Sometimes if the advert's really good, we get busy watching it. But I'd just be careful, like, where you keep your YouTube videos, where you put your ads. So that's but these are ones you can skip after 5 seconds. This one here with the number 6 on it, these are bumper ads and are for short, memorable messages. Next one, outstream ads, done differently and would need to speak to Google about. So these ones here, you can't just run, you have to speak to Google about. The next one here, 15, these are non-skippable and can be 15 to 20 seconds in max. I think they're the ones that annoy us the most. In feed, so this is better for longer form on homepage, search results, video page, and then partner sites. For me, I really like this type of ad because it's almost reminds me of Google. Someone searches for something and your ad comes at the top there. And then the other organic video search results will come up. See, that's okay because you've given someone an option to click on it. Where the other ones, it feels a bit like you're forcing someone to click on it or you're ruining their video experience. So when I'm running YouTube ads, I'm always a bit, I always try to take that into consideration. But I don't want my brand or the brand I represent to annoy them. I want them to look at my brand and think, oh, that's useful. And then there's another one here called the masthead adverts. So do you mean you go straight onto YouTube and you can see the ads? That's what we're talking about. But once again, you can't just use that. You have to speak to Google in advance. So they will just obviously double check everything's okay on their side of things. So they're the different types of ad formats that we currently have on YouTube. And just to show you what some of these look like, we've looked at these before, but just wanted to give you a bit of an overview. So you can see the skippable ads, the ads where they turn up, and you can see sponsored, 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 and the ability to click after it. So this, you can see someone's watching a video here and the Shopify websites come up, and then that's giving you a skip ad. So you can see that's the, once again, an ad that is playing before a video. So if you want to learn more about the social ads and the platforms that we've discussed today, these are the places that you need to go to. You will have the resources for the module and they're on there as well. But you can see there's a place for Meta. So, see, this is why I still call it Facebook. And you can see the link to it still says facebook.com. So if you want to learn about it, you still go in there. So when I do call it Facebook, I do it because it's in parts it's still known as Facebook. But anyway, I'm sure if you learn meta ads, it'd give you maybe it'd redirect you there. I remember redirecting, we talked about that on SEO. Next one, LinkedIn. If you want to learn about LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google, and obviously that includes YouTube, TikTok, the X Ads Academy, and then Snapchat as well. So these are the resources that you can use. And once again, these are areas that you can specialize in as well. So you might think, oh, I love the sound of these TikTok ads, or I love the sound of Snapchat ads, or I love the sound of Meta ads, or whatever it is. This is where you can improve on it. And as I mentioned, my personal advice, well, once again, led by the data, Google and Meta are the ones that lead the way. So if you learn those, that's quite useful. But as I've said, if you learn Meta, then it makes it easier to use the other ones. And even though we've not covered it, X ads, similar concepts. And it didn't used to be when it first started, it was different. But more recently, when I look at X ads or Twitter ads, very similar to Facebook again. So very similar to Meta. So learn Meta and that will help you. Okay. Next thing we're going to be looking at is display ads.